What's going on, guys? We are back and we are talking about EU Open number 2 and the top 32 roundup, or the wrap up of what happened there, just to get you guys ready for Friday's action, top 16 of the European Open number 2 for the Birmingham Major. Birmingham, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to first begin. I'm going to show some Rocket League gameplay from the top 32. Some very important games, probably just two of them. But we're going to get right into it. And this is 100% versus TSK. This is actually game 4 in Swiss of round 5, where TSK was up 2-1 on 100%. And that's the first main plot line of this top 32, was the 100% that they finished top 4 last time. They were basically 2 match points away from not even qualifying for the top 16. We kind of talked about this a lot in power rankings and all that stuff of, like, these teams can pop off, but you have to see it more than once, because a lot of times these teams can have a harder time making it back. They did make it, though. They did qualify. You'll see that across these 2 games if we get that far. So hats off to them for qualifying, because again, in Europe, you just never know what exactly is going to happen. The next thing we really want to talk about is what teams did not make it. And let's bring up actually the Pro Power rankings, because I think these are still relatively relevant across what the pros think these teams are. Team Synergy, we got to talk about them. Number 7. 1 better than 100%, 1 worse than Dignitas, which we'll talk about more a little bit later. But Team Synergy did not qualify. They were eliminated in the Swiss in the top 32. So that is AJG, Dorito, and Tekaz. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. Tech, basically. So, a little unfortunate for these 3 guys. They were supposed to be one of these teams to potentially challenge for one of these major spots. It looked like, basically by the Pro Power rankings, top 4, then a small gap with GK and Dig, then a little bit of a bigger gap down to them. But Team Synergy, basically, their split's over. Like, they're going to have to win EU Open number 3 and hope for a lot of good things to come out of the other teams to have any chance to make it to the major. So that is the one disappointing team there. There are teams that didn't make it. Sulaco, not sure how to exactly say them. They also had some promise, but at the same time, with the Pro Power rankings, they were dead last time. And Novo, they were also dead last in Pro Power rankings, or right down there in 15th. Those 2 teams also did not make it in. Nomster made it in. J-Rocks and Forward were the new teams to qualify. So now you know that. Now it's more about how did these teams exactly qualify. If you look through the Swiss, which I'm not going to show on screen, but generally pretty comfortable for the teams you expect. Dignitas did it very comfortably. I think they're one of the highlights of the top 32 Swiss. A lot of question marks around Dig. Last time around, had a pretty easy bracket, and they made good use of it, but they didn't beat anyone better than them, right? And they lost to 100% as well, so only getting the top 5 result. They took down 100% this time around in the 2-0 round, so 100% not only barely qualified, they actually fell down twice to round number 5. So Team Dignitas, they qualified 3-2. They also beat Redemption 3-2 as well. They also beat Forward 3-0. All 3 of those teams qualified. So Dignitas, their buckle score, very, very good, which will play factors into where they're seated later. K-Corp, pretty comfortable as well. 3-0, taking down GK in their final round, in the 2-0 round. So GK, though, pretty solid outside of that K-Corp loss. They didn't lose a game outside of playing K-Corp. So they're looking maybe better than they did 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Besides that, not too much in Group A. In Group B, Ninjas in Pajamas went 3-0. Vitality went 3-0 as well. Vitality took down RRG as their highlight 2-0 match, 3-0. Ninjas in Pajamas took down the Mates 3-0. Last time they played, it went to Champions Field in the last Open. Ninjas, this time around, did it in a 3-0 fashion. But the Mates and RRG both qualified in the following round, in the 3-1 round. Besides that, not too much going on here as well. The top teams did what they were supposed to do and make it outside of 100%, who had a little bit more of a hard time going through that 3-2 round. that leads into, which I'll get into right now, what the bracket possibly might be. So this is from Reddit. So that's why it says Dig has a Mickey bracket again. But these aren't like official yet. I think most people assume that these are correct. I didn't fact check these necessarily, so we'll see if this actually plays a factor. But we're going to talk about them like they are real, right? So Group A has Ninjas versus Caliente, which is a pretty good match for Ninjas, and I think well-deserved. Caliente on that bottom half side of the Pro Power Rankings. Then you got GK versus RRG. RRG, last time around, had a good performance, but they didn't beat anyone higher than them. They actually had a very easy bracket, so we'll see if GK can kind of right the ship of what they did last time, or will RRG actually impress more. On that, we're going to go to Game 5 here of this match between 100% and TSK, where this is where 100% really took over and won this last game 5-0 to qualify for the top 16. So keeping on going through the Group A, we got Vitality versus J-Rocks, which again, not a match that Vitality has to worry about too much, but I believe J-Rocks is the Mike Boy roster, so you just never know with Mike Boy. Oh, no, it's not. I'm sorry. That is the wrong roster I'm thinking of. Mark by 8. Like RXI, I always don't know how to say his name, like Rye. But anyway, gonna move on. Vitality should get that one pretty good. Redemption, the last match there was a very good like 8-9 match, I would say, of like both these teams could do some damage last time around. Redemption didn't. So did Starpoint. Didn't really do much a lot last time around. We'll see if one of those teams can right the ship with an early win and see what they do in their brackets. Group B, Dignitas. Yes, they do have a Mickey bracket again. Last time around, didn't beat anyone above them. Played very, I would say, low competition according to Pro Power Rankings. But again, not their fault. They honestly earned it more this time around with a very good Swiss. So that's a better showing from them already. But they get Knobster, one of the new teams here. And then no one else in their group of 4 is on the left side of the screen. They're all on the right side and pretty far down. Like their highest seed is a 10th seed. So Dignitas has a pretty good group of 4 that they should get out of yet again. And then finally you got KC, Mates, and 100% all in the same quadrant of 4. So a very tough one for Forward as well. One of the newcomers here. So we'll see how that plays out. But K-Corp should take care of business. And then Mates versus K-Corp should be a fun one, but Mates looked a little bit less quality, I would say, in their top 32 based on their Ninjas 3-0 performance. So K-Corp, obviously best team in the world right now. We'll see if that continues in Open number 2, but they should probably come out of that, followed by Mates. And then, honestly, like as long as you win your first round, you'll face the lower bracket winner of that weaker top 4 with Dignitas there, like in that Group B. And if that is the case, as long as you win round 1, Mates versus 100%, one of those teams should absolutely make it. The other team will have to play a team from the upper side of that weaker part of Group B. So they should also probably make it. But this is why I also appreciate that these double elim groups are not 4 teams and they are 8. So even if you do have a very, very good group of 4, they can still get 3 out of their 4 out, right? Not the case for Sam. I don't know if you guys saw Sam. All top 6 teams are in the same quadrant of 8. So it's like, it didn't help them there. They needed it to branch out even further. But for the most part, it at least will avoid your really hard top 4s. So on that note, this is what we have to play. Top 16 coming up. Again, this is from a Reddit post. Not technically official yet, so we'll see if there was any mistakes in their calculations. But I didn't double check it because, you know, I'm going to trust Reddit. I like Reddit. I know a lot of people don't like Reddit, but I like Reddit. So hats off to you guys over there. But yeah, so that is what is going to happen this weekend. 100% again. They're the one with the magnifying glass. Let's say them and like maybe a Dignitas and a GK of, can one of these teams catch up to Mates for one of those top 4 spots? And obviously 100% has that spot right now, but based on their top 32 performance, maybe they slide back down. So we'll see how it all plays out. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.